1,371. That's the number of drug-induced deaths that have occurred in the United States, which was presented in a study by Dr. Leonard J. Palisi in 2007. Hi, my name is Catherine Fernandez, and I am here to inform you on the negative impact that drugs have on your life. Here are the top 3 disadvantages that drugs have on your life. For one, it affects your physical health. 2, it prevents you from obtaining a well-paying professional job. And finally, it is a waste of time and money. These effects can happen in any order, but let's start off with the most common effect, which is your physical health. Many people might argue that not all drugs are bad for you, but that's where they're wrong. Some drugs might have less of a negative impact as others, but that does not mean that it is not affecting you. Certain drugs might take a bit longer to show their effects, but surely, with time, they will affect you as bad as the more hardcore drugs. One example of a drug that people say is harmless is marijuana. Dude, it's just a plant. It won't affect you. Wrong. Many marijuana users create false assumptions towards the actual effects the drugs have. What they fail to recognize is that marijuana can cause a long-lasting negative impact on your developing brain. It can also cause short-term memory loss. One of the more addicting drugs, as proven in research, is heroin. Because heroin enters the brain quicker than other drugs, it makes it more addicting than the other drugs. Not to mention that with each time you use heroin, you need a larger dosage the next time around to get high. In an extremely short amount of time, regular heroin users destroys the body. Collapsed veins, cellulitis, and abscesses are common problems among chronic injection heroin users. Liver disease, lung disease, hepatitis, HIV from the use of needles. Bottom line is that the high health risk of drugs, whether the effects are instant or delayed, should make you reconsider the thought of even trying any drug. Prevention of obtaining a well-paying job. Where do you see yourself working in a few years? Many times that a person is asked this question, they respond, lawyer, doctor, police officer. But in order to obtain such a job, you are required to take a drug test prior to receiving the job. And during your years of work, of course. If you fail a drug test, you not only risk losing your job, but that kind of information is something that will stay on your permanent record for a lifetime, preventing you from achieving certain goals in life. The only kinds of jobs that are very unlikely to drug test are food places like McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell. Do you really want to be working in these places for the rest of your life? I know I don't. Finally, it is a waste of time and money. If you haven't already heard, drugs can be very pricey. Not to mention, they can consume a lot of your time. Although it is impossible to put a dollar amount on the total cost of addiction, one thing is certain, addiction can be very expensive. Late bills, higher interest rates, and bad credit scores are common problems that will take place once the addiction prevails. It only makes sense, money that goes towards paying down debt goes towards buying drugs instead. You not only waste time using the drugs, but looking for them as well. But as you consume them, you waste a great deal of time as well. Plus, while the user is intoxicated, they aren't as productive as they would be as if they were sober. In conclusion, if you know a relative or close friend who is taking any drugs, then you should enlighten them on the 3 possible outcomes that can take place, which are: 1, it affects your physical health. 2, prevents you from obtaining a well-paying professional job. And 3, it is a waste of time and money. Knowing what you know now, you should go and spread the word and possibly save a life too. Thank you.